Okay, so now we're getting into student life at Fulford Academy, and here we are, we're talking about athletics at our school. So Fulford is a member of the Eastern Ontario Secondary School Athletics Association, otherwise known as EASA. So this means we compete against other high schools in our local area, as well as high schools in the Upper Canada District School Board. Fulford Academy is also part of an independent athletics league, so that means we compete against other independent and private schools in Ontario. We do individual games or perhaps maybe small tournaments. So as you can see, as from the list of sports listed here, these are some of our popular sports programs where students are joining teams and competing against other high schools. This is for students who are looking for sort of that competitive level of sport. For students who are not looking for that kind of exposure, but wanting to be involved in sports on some sort of level, every opportunity to play sports in our extracurricular programs and clubs. The sports you see listed here: volleyball, soccer, basketball, tennis, cross country, track and field, and golf. These are some of our more popular sports from year to year. So at Fulford Academy, we operate on a house system. And what that means is that every student, every staff member belongs to a house, or they belong to a team. And each house has its own name, has its own color, and this house system is a way for us to encourage a couple of things. First of all, it encourages school spirit and competition because we have regular competitions between houses. These competitions can be academic based, they could be sport based, and at the end of each week, we deem a house of the week based on these competitions. And the students and staff members that are part of the house that's deemed House of the Week earn things like a free dress day. So it's a lot of fun for our students. Students also have an opportunity to earn individual points for the house throughout the week. So when staff members notice students are sort of going above and beyond what's expected of them, when they're demonstrating positive behavior and demonstrating good leadership qualities, then they can earn points. At the end of the week, we also earn, there's also a title earned Student of the Week, and the Student of the Week also earns extra perks like getting to eat lunch first and things like that. So it's a lot of fun. And like I said, our house system is a way to generate school spirit and competition, but it's also a way for us to manage and monitor student growth and positive behavior and just good attributes in our students. So at Fulford Academy, we do run a leadership program called our Prefect program. This is available to all students regardless of grade. Students can apply to become a prefect. So at the beginning of the school year, they submit their name and application. They get references from around the school, and I think, and they also submit a written submission. And then we have a committee that selects who our prefects will be. And if you are a student that's chosen, if you're selected as a prefect, well, then that comes with certain extra responsibilities around the school. Things like helping organizing school events, doing student announcements, and those sorts of things. And if you are a prefect, basically you are held to a high standard because you are then seen as a role model and leader among your peers. And as a prefect, you're given a special tie to wear so that everyone knows, in fact, that you are a prefect around the school. This is, we have a lot of students that like to apply for this program from year to year because it looks great on a resume, especially on an application to college and university. So as I touched on earlier, to graduate high school in Ontario, you have to complete a minimum number of community service hours. And at Fulford, we give our students ample opportunities to earn these service hours. Over our school history, we've established strong ties with local community members and partners. You can see a list here on the slide, and these are just a few examples of some of our community partners. In a typical year, we have a group of students volunteering each week, for example, at Loaves and Fishes, which is a place where our students go to help prepare and serve food for people who are looking for an affordable meal. So through this opportunity alone, students can earn all of their community service hours in just 1 year. And this is just one example. We also are very open-minded for our students, and we welcome our students to introduce other volunteer possibilities. So if we have a student that has a particular passion, we can certainly help and facilitate and organize those service hours for the student. In the past, for example, we've had students come to us with a passion for horses and equestrian. So, we have a great partnership with St. Albans Stables, which is, just around the corner from Fulford Academy, which allows our students to volunteer their time there to assist with chores and such. So community service is very important to graduates. It's very important to Fulford. It's all about developing well-rounded people, like I mentioned earlier in our open house today. So all meals at Fulford Academy take place in our beautiful dining room, which you probably got a glimpse of in our earlier video. Here is just a sample of what would be served to our students in a typical week. We recognize that students come to Fulford with different diet preferences. And we cater to these preferences, whether the student is vegetarian or vegan, or they have some sort of restriction in their diet, or perhaps they have a Muslim diet. Like I said, we cater to these students, and we make sure that we have meals for these students each day of the week. And through our food is one way that we try to appeal and embrace all the cultures that we have in the school. We do our own versions of Mexican cuisine and Asian cuisine, for example. Our faculty, our kitchen staff do a tremendous job of preparing delicious and great meals for our students. All meals, of course, are included in our fees. This means our breakfast, our lunch, and our dinner. Our after-school clubs and extracurricular program is built around the interests of our students from year to year. We offer a variety of experiences for our students, as you can see from the list here. So each year we poll our students to determine what they're interested in doing, and then we build and design our extracurricular programming around those interests. Extracurricular programming takes place each day preceding last class or study hall from Monday to Thursday each week. Some clubs may take place during the actual school day, during lunch hour, for example, clubs like Stock Market Club or Robotics Club in the past. This year we added an esports club, and due to its popularity, it actually grew into a competitive school team. We were competing tournaments against other schools. The world of esports is quickly growing, and this was something that we recognized and was an obvious interest for our students this year, so we ran with it. And as a result, our school team has been ranked 23rd across North America out of 140 plus schools. So that was really neat to see in our first year of competition. In fact, we have one student on our team who's been ranked number 3 overall as an individual. So very exciting, lots of fun. So even during this pandemic, this school year, in a time where there's limited opportunity for our students, we saw an opportunity, and we took it, and it grew into something really fun and something that we're going to be investing in the future, that's for sure. We also have boarding students who come to Fulford Academy with special interests or requests. Things like horseback riding, I mentioned earlier, or perhaps the student plays a certain sport or a certain musical instrument. Perhaps they want to keep up their training. So we can facilitate these kinds of special requests to the best of our ability. If this is something we can't offer in-house to the student, we will look for opportunities in the local community for our students to connect them with. And it's important to note that these types of special requests, they may come at an extra expense for the family. We have to take things into consideration, like transporting the student to their team if need be. We have to take into account things like membership fees as well, if that's required. So it's important to note those types of things could come at an extra expense to the family. However, most of our extracurriculars and our programming is included in our fees and don't come at an extra cost to the family. So like I've touched on already, our school's proximity, central proximity to places like Toronto and Ottawa and Montreal really permits us to organize fun experiences for our students. And Brockville itself, with the St. Lawrence River and some of the surrounding nature trails and lakes, we can offer a lot to our students. In a typical school year, we have activities planned each weekend for our students. We usually organize trips by semester, and we provide a list for our students to look at and go through and to sign up for. And as long as we have permission from the student's family, the student is more than welcome to participate. You can see just a few examples here, things like going to professional sports games, Toronto Maple Leafs games or basketball games with the Toronto Raptors, maybe going to a museum in Montreal or to a water park in Ottawa. Lots of different types of things that we do or that we offer for our students. Most of our trips are optional. Like I said, we just need permission from the family. For our boarding program, we set up each student with an overhead account so that that account can be used to cover the costs of these trips. When we provide families, with trips that we would like to provide, we also provide approximate costs, and then we use that overhead account for that student if they do sign up for a trip. This is really only the extra cost that families need to take into consideration, but most of our trips, like I said, are optional.